is how to develop peace of mind. Just a closed eye is not important. The important thinking. Now, 5 senses of organs and 6 the mind. So meditation carried by 6 the mind. So 6 the mind focusing on particular subject, then all senses of organs automatically stop. So now it is quite good. Investigate about consciousness and thinking. Then, once we accept consciousness, the further sort of question: what is the causes of consciousness? Then that bring concept of continuation of consciousness. So, very beginning of my consciousness with new body must be previous continuation of previous consciousness. So now that bring question previous life. Mm-hmm. And also you see there are people, including myself, when I was very young, I have some memory about past life. It shows continuation of life, continuation of our consciousness. And obviously, you see, some young children clearly memory about past life. I am not such clear, but some memory there. So now, on these facts, we have to accept continuation of mind. So, this Buddhism and the Hinduism, we more or less common. Now, Christian, you see, this very life, you see, given by God, or something different. But Indian tradition, everything should come continuously. So previous
lifelong,
previous mind, and through that way, we thinking a life after life and consciousness continuously. Then that also, you see, gives, you see, courage. This life, I try to improve my consciousness and a certain good quality. Then step by step, my consciousness can reach Buddha's consciousness. So, my body getting older, but my mind every day thinking new, and deeper experience about bodhicitta, about understanding of shunyata. So mentally, even you see younger, physical level older. So this, my aim is ultimately go to Buddhahood. Okay. I think, according to my own experience, 20 years ago, my mental state, and today, some differences, deeper experience. So physical getting older, mental level more fresh, like that. So now, firstly, it is useful to have the concept continuation of a mind. Then mind through training, new also the quality,
Qualities.
right?
So many of the qualities of the mind can be cultivated and perfected.
So anyway, physical getting older and older, mind become younger and younger, and aiming Buddhahood. So we believe physical and consciousness is simply Shiva Ragwa, Chawa, Shindu Chawa, Mongshadwa.
So when we think about consciousness, we should not be thinking just a monolithic thing. But there are really different levels, subtle levels, the coarser levels, and very subtle levels as well. So in Vajrayana literature, there is quite an extensive description of the various levels of this consciousness and how each of these are indicative of higher, coarser levels of mind, and how when these, through a process, dissolution takes place, from a coarser to a less coarser to a subtle, then more subtle levels of kind of purely luminous states of consciousness comes to be manifest.
Mikasha Chongni, Chuche, Ada Pumbuti Savage Tegidua, Takandako, Shiva Chave Rimbegi, that Timrim Drada, Tama, Numa Haji, Vesakan to Stadach.
So one of the indications of this we see in a phenomenon when some people die, even though they are clinically dead, physically dead, but their body does not decompose. So they are going through progressive levels of subtlety of consciousness, which is also progressively independent of the physiology of the person. So we see such phenomenon where, although someone is clinically dead, the body doesn't decompose in some cases for a prolonged period of time.
Shivataragi, Nanji Thosun Satazudi, Lolpatus Kasure, Kumji Yao Chumbayina, Cheduyan Pa, Zawachana, Kobake Mamache, Koranshikitus, John Timbrim Didus, Shayundu, Da, Moshiva Samreta, Donna Ranshi, Chebe Ranshi, Nyatoga Ranshi, Shagdu Sambachi, Pashi Yunguri. Then Luru SMD Pa Gane, Numataji Vesadi, Shayung Yori. And it was sang Alia, Pashi Guru Komcha Yavayina, any Tamsa Tombo Vesa Shaying to Sane, the Numataji Vesa Shay could do Sabashi, Pashi Yondo Kavari. And it was a thing Ala, and now the Tamsa upon gas hershey. Rather, Tanyung any Ranshi Trubashi, now shadow did some along gas hershey. Any Sheve Nanga Titu Tigiti gas hershey. And under Tagisha, Tomba Tombo, Tomba Yibo, Tomba Sumba, Tomba Shiva, Tamja Tombo verses, Adekana, any those Lotea Chigi. So
part of this also involves daily practice, where the meditator or the practitioners goes through a simulation of various stages of dissolution of the body, from various stages of the elements, including the dissolution of the consciousness itself, divided further into what are called the 4 stages of appearance, increase, near attainment, and finally culminating in the experience of clear light, pure luminosity. So when someone who is familiar with this dissolution process as part of their daily practice, when the actual phenomenon happens at the point of death, will be simply able to maintain the awareness and recognize the process that he or she is going through. And then there is no effort in that moment. It's simply a recognition, simply an awareness. And that pure, simple awareness is able to maintain the awareness of that processes. And, what the process involves is a increasing level of, moving beyond everyday experience of duality of subject-object, external objects, and thought process, habitual thought patterns, and so on, and finally culminating at the point what is referred to as clear light, where the fundamental sort of primordial consciousness, which is sometimes referred to as the innate consciousness, really comes to manifest, where there is just no duality at all. And all the perceptions that are so dominant of our ordinary mind have completely disappeared. And Thukdam is the phenomenon that is described, referred to here.